idea to go to that amazing concert I did last night.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It was a show with Bryan Ferry, who used to be with Roxy Music. If you don't know him, he sang that song, Avalon. And more than this, if you haven't been on Netflix, you should watch Lost in Translation. Bill Murray tries to sing this Bryan Ferry song, More Than This. And that's about it.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And Love is the Drug, and Glam, and David Bowie once sang on a VH1 show
Mike's
what his favorite
Daily
performer of all time was.
Podcast.
And he said Bryan Ferry, so...
Yeah!
73 years old. It was great to see him last night in Oakland, O-Town, California, at the Fox Theater. The last show I saw there was Train, almost 10 years ago. So it was a pleasure to finally go back and see a show. I am not one for concerts, I have to admit. There's someone that in this studio that I'm sitting in, I mean at Cafe Anyway, I mean somewhere in Podcastro Valleyton today, who is about 24 years old, and she goes to every frickin' concert she can get her hands on. And not only that, she works for Live Nation, works at the Concord Pavilion, goes and sees she's usher at the Concord Pavilion and helps, not Usher the singer. Yeah, yeah, all the women in the bug there. Yeah, doot, 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 doot. By the way, there is a version of that song, Yeah, by Usher and Lil Wayne and Ludacris, that has some Indian, I think he's Indian singer. He's got that kind of... That's my impression of an Indian singer. You're welcome. I had absolutely zero training on that, as you could tell. And it sounded amazing. I loved it. Singing on top of that song.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Yeah, by Usher. I loved it. I heard it yesterday in downtown O-Town as I was walking with my lovely lady friend to see Bryan Ferry. That's not what the podcast picture is today, though, of course. And we were walking over to see the show at the Fox Theater, and there was a wedding happening above the CVS, above the drugstore of all places, in this kind of outdoor thing. There was a wedding. Oh, and I introduced to you the bride and groom. Here's their song. The bride and groom song that we heard play was a rap song. Not Yeah, but it was some rap song. I didn't know. My lovely lady friend, who's younger than me by a couple years, did not know it either. We were like, why would you have a rap song? Basil wants a rap song played for him. I'll play you a rap song now, Basil. Parents just don't understand. So Basil unfortunately could not go with us to the concert. No dogs allowed. But we did enjoy this wonderful evening. And Bryan Ferry put on an amazing show. Oh my God, he's 73. His voice is very low now, and he can't put much power behind it. But he delivered. He delivered, and his band delivered. Oh my God, his band. The versions, just the band alone, I would want them to go back and record everything. I have loved Philip Manzanera's work on Roxy Music stuff and Brian Eno and all the rest, but damn, this band was so good. Mostly young people. The gal, I don't know. See, I don't know any of the names of I tried looking, I went to his website and tried to look up everybody's names, and there's no names on his website. It's irritating, and I tried to Google it or Bing it, and I couldn't, and use Bing instead of Google because Bing gives you points, even though they may not be as good as Google. By the way, I've had some coffee, you can tell. By the way, this is night and day from the show I did 2 shows back, which is I did it at 5:43 in the morning, and I could not access anything in my brain. It was so tired, so just ugh. And today, much better. This is how I like to be when I'm doing my podcast, and I hope you like this as well. But thank you for putting up with the guy 2 days ago, with the mic 2 days ago, talking into the mic as I'm doing now. Talk into the mic, Mike. So, okay, back to this amazing concert, and the drummer was so good. Oh my God! So Bryan Ferry has used in his early days, in his more popular days, and Bryan did a lot of stuff from Avalon, the album Avalon that came out in the early 80s. Fantastic album that had more than this on it. Did just about every frickin' song. And some of the songs had drum machines in them. The drummer, like, completely simulated the drum machine. Like he was doing the 3 beat or the 4 or the wacky 5 beat or whatever weird drum machine stuff Casio was making back in the early 80s. This guy was simulating it. Oh, it was amazing. And the saxophone player, the lady, she was good. Bryan had a young lady on violin. And he did, I think it's called Bête Noire from Bryan's little bit later 80s solo album that he did that featured Kiss and Tell. And he didn't do Kiss and Tell. I couldn't believe he didn't do Kiss and Tell. Come on. That was like your highest charting song. Not your most memorable song, but still produced by Patrick Leonard, who was married to Olivia d'Abo, who used to be my dad's neighbor. And Olivia d'Abo's mom used to come over and chat my dad up. I think her name was Beverly d'Abo, and she was a real estate agent and annoying as hell. Sorry, Beverly, if you're listening to the podcast, which I know you aren't. You were annoying to my dad. My dad would go, oh, God, Beverly came by again. She wants to buy the house. She won't give me a number. But, you know, she'd constantly try and sell the house. My dad wanted a good price. Because if he was moving out, especially in the era that Beverly was talking to him, you couldn't buy another house anywhere else in California for what she was offering to pay him. And then when he died, oh my God, she descended like a freaking vulture, like a freaking buzzard. Came next door. I didn't actually talk to her, but she left all these notes for me. Mike, please give me a call, Mike. And I didn't want to talk to her because my dad was like, ugh, basically telling me don't talk to her. My wife at the time picked up the phone and called her and said, stop harassing us. And I think she was British. She was like, listen, I don't want to annoy you too. I just want to let you know I'd be happy to buy the house. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we were bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valleyton. And my then wife was like, leave us alone. And she was very forceful. She was good at that. She was the heavy in the relationship. She was the bad cop. She was good. She was good at it. I learned a lot from her. I have to say, and this is maybe what this podcast is all about today, trying to help you is what this podcast tries to do. You can learn a lot from people, even in relationships that fail. Well, the biggest, isn't the most iconic sign of a relationship failing is a marriage that fails. But I'm still friends with my ex-wife because I learned a lot from her. She learned a lot from me. And I think it sucks when people go through divorce and they just chop off the arm and they take nothing with them from the relationship. They bury it. Oh, here's something. If you've been through a divorce, you probably know this. People just deleting photos, burning photos, throwing out albums. I know a couple of divorcees who have told me, Mike, he deleted the hard drive that had all my pictures. I wish I could get those pictures back. I know someone who told me the guy took the photos and just threw them all out, and she regretted it. Some people move on. Some people are like sharks, and they move on. They keep going because sharks never stop. If they do, they die. They just keep going, keep moving, move on, move on, move on. .org. But Bryan put on a great show. Oh, Olivia d'Abo was married to Patrick Leonard. That was the daughter of Beverly d'Abo, who was annoying. Okay, sorry, I jumped around a bit. Olivia d'Abo was the actress in The Wonder Years. She was the sister of Fred Savage on that show, The Blonde. And she sang a little bit. Somehow met Patrick Leonard. Patrick Leonard produced Madonna's True Blue album. A couple other ones had produced Bryan Ferry's Bête Noire. There's a Bet? No. Bet Jetam? No, I don't know my Bryan Ferry. I apologize. Yeah, I think it was Bet. So that album had Kiss and Tell. Patrick Leonard produced that. And what's interesting is that Patrick Leonard might have been next door to my dad sometimes because that's where Olivia d'Abo lived. And my dad did remark once to me that he heard, because his backyard connected to Olivia d'Abo's backyard, there was a fence, very thin fence between the two, and he could hear her playing the guitar next door. And somebody was playing drums. I don't think it was her, but that used to annoy my dad because the drums would be just pounding right into my dad's bedroom. Isn't that interesting? Maybe that was Patrick Leonard playing the drums. Patrick was also in a band that I really enjoyed called Toy Matinee with the late Kevin Gilbert. They had one album that I really enjoyed, and then Mr. Mister's lead singer Richard Page joined Patrick Leonard on an album called Third Matinee. It was sort of the sequel to Toy Matinee that I really liked. But maybe you don't like that stuff. But Patrick Leonard, I almost met him. Bryan Ferry's producer. So Bryan really he only did one song, I think the title track, Bête Noire, last night, that has a violin in it. The violin player so good. 2 electric guitar players that were amazing. And then there was a keyboard player. Bryan would sometimes sit down and play. He's a keyboardist. And he plays the harmonica, I did not know. And then the lady who was playing saxophone would also play the keyboard and add the sound effects here and there, like in Love is the Drug, there's Love is the Drug's got a hook on me. There's that, and she added that to the song. And the audience it was packed. The Fox Theater was packed. And the Fox Theater's huge. And we had nosebleed sections. Yes, your celebrity friend and podcaster Mike Matthews was in the back row. In fact, we were from the second from the back. We almost sat in the back. Some guy had sat in our seat. We had to tell him to leave. A big bald guy. And my lovely lady friend kind of went Bronxy because she's from the Bronx. And I saw her go, he's got to move, in this sort of Bronx way. And I was like, yeah, he's got to move. And I went over, sir, what's your ticket number? Oh, it's BB. No, something. I go, no, this is AA. You're in row AA. And there was a bunch of people with their beers going, yeah, we're AA. Ha, ha, ha. This show is way different from the one I did 2 days ago. Did I mention that yet? Okay, a couple other things I would like to get to here in episode 1891. And that is, the hurricane coverage sucks. I cannot stand hurricane coverage. And this always happens this time of year. A year ago, I went to Florida to see my mom in Daytona Beach. And this is the only reason why this Californian gives a crap about the hurricanes is because my mom's over there. It's the same reason my mom is the only Floridian that gives a crap about Californians, is because her son lives in earthquake country. Oh, by the way, Bryan, last night, he didn't say, apparently in an article about him playing at the Greek Theater in LA, he did not talk much to the audience. He just introduced his band, kind of conversed with them a little bit. Ooh, his band also had the brother and sister. I don't know their name, but they're in that 8 Feet from Greatness, that documentary about backup singers. The young brother-sister act that sang on Man in the Mirror, and you meet them briefly in the movie. They were Bryan Ferry's backup singers last night, and the sister sang the cool part in Avalon, and ha 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 Avalon, ha, 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 all that stuff. She was great. So yeah, fantastic show. I'll tell you will this get me to go to more concerts? No, because that was an exception last night. The concerts I've been to have been, for the most part, disappointing in my life. I know for a fact that was an exception, and that's why I enjoyed it so much. So, will I be running out to see REO Speedwagon at the local fair? No, probably not. Or go to see Great White at the fair, or hey, look, it's Vince Neil from Motley Crue. No. But that was fun. Okay, hurricane coverage. Back to this. Look, there is really, you get so much misinformation online about hurricanes. You don't know until you know with hurricanes. And I worry like crazy about my mom in Florida. But what can I do except fly her out of here and out of there to here and get her away from the issues that are happening in Florida? Because like Dorian, whatever it is, Dorian. It is not Dora. Whatever. It's like it hit the Bahamas and now it's like off the coast and it's slowing down, but it's still got tropical winds. And it seems like when you go online, they're telling you, oh, Florida's going to get hit hard. Oh, Florida might miss it. Oh, Florida's going to get hit hard. It like changes from day to day. It drives me nuts. I hate hurricane coverage. You don't know until you know. That's how it is. I guess kind of like earthquakes here in California. Downtown Oakland, by the way, is an interesting place on a Saturday night. I guess it was not as packed as I thought it would be. I guess because downtown Oakland is very spread out and there's different things, cool things in different spots, but it's all sort of spread out. Lots of cop cars and suddenly a lot of motorcyclists, but all in all, a pleasant experience. And right before we left for the show, and I was like, we should probably go now because we were leaving so freaking late. We caught a little bit of Femme Berlin or Femme something German was her name. Femme Schmidt was her name. Oh, yeah. Lana Del Rey, basically. But she, my lovely lady friend, suddenly chopped off a chunk of her hair. I'm like, no, what are you doing? Right. We were just about to leave for the concert and she did that. Wow. Punk rock girl. You're for me, punk rock girl. Oh, punk rock girl, let's have slam dance and then have romance. We're rolling around the world, just you and me. Eating fudge banana swirls, just you and me. Punk rock girl. Oh no, we only have iced. Finally, selfies. Okay, I know we are living in a material world. And I am a material. Patrick Leonard didn't produce that album, did he? But selfies. We have too many selfies going on in the world. Now, I was doing selfies back before you could do the thing. And yes, it's a very brilliant idea. Whoever came up with it. Was it Steve Jobs? To make the camera be on the inside of the phone. And then you can take a selfie. It's a brilliant, brilliant idea. And selfie sticks are annoying. Yes. And people that all they do is post Instagram photos and have the fake selfie face and do the duck puffer lips thing. That's ridiculous. I think you should try and be as natural as possible when you take a selfie picture. Take it fast. Don't stage it. Don't go, oh, that was a bad one. Let's try again. Just take it and move on. But the thing is, my phone, the camera for the regular camera lens on the back side of the phone that you would take normal pictures with, that lens is all messed up. It's all cloudy and terrible, and I've wiped it. I can't clean it. So I have to now use the selfie photo camera for everything. The selfie camera I have to use for everything. So I'm taking a lot more selfies of myself, even though I'm against selfies. Just vile selfies are. But I use the selfie camera lens because it's so much clearer and better. And that's the irony of life, isn't it? Okay. Hey, there's some people out here at Cafe anyway. Let's say hi to them right now. Hi, Ma. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How you doing?
That's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player. Tell you what.
What?
I take selfies with me and Benita all the time.
Yeah, when we go places, I go, hey, Disgruntled Fiddle Player, my love. Let's take a picture.
And then we take a picture of each other.
And then we'll kiss each other.
Yeah, and we forget to take the picture while we're kissing.
Yeah, we should do that. Yeah, you should definitely do that because then people will see that and think it's vile and disgusting of people. Why are we so turned off by love? By people kissing? By people hugging? We should be more for that. Instead of watching people punch each other, we should see each other kiss each other, is what I'm saying.
No, Mark, I like the punching thing. That's fun.
It's called, you know what it is? It's that world, that Punch and Judy world that England was all about. With the Punch and Judy show with the puppets punching each other.
Puppets punching each other? I want to see that.
Well, go to England. Look who else is here.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. Have some right now. Oh, boy, I'll cut you.
Thank you. I will drink it then.
I want to watch him cut you.
No. Anti-violence is what this show is. Hey, I just watched an anti-bullying video. Here's something that the anti-bullying video taught me. Or wait. Maybe this was the video about watching out for people that might come back with a gun and kill everybody. Violence in the workplace, I think, is what it was. Okay, this is what I learned about violence in the workplace, is that violence will be committed in the workplace most often by people that are depressed. That's what it said. If there's someone in your workplace who's depressed all the time, maybe you should tell HR because that person will come in and punch someone. That's basically what I learned from my anti-bullying, anti-violence in the workplace video that was mandatory for me to watch and do a test on. And that's possibly the end of this show. What do you think about any of that? Are you a Bryan Ferry fan? Did I just bore you about Bryan Ferry for the past 22 minutes or so? You can call me 336MM Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews, Daily as in what this podcast has been for the past 3 days. And I will be on for Labor Day doing a special guest starring appearance on the radio. If you listen in the Contra Costa County area to 92.1 FM, KKDV, I will be on from 6 a.m. till noon tomorrow morning to the afternoon on 92.1 FM. And if you don't live in that area, you can listen online at kkdv.com. That's KKDV as in Diablo Valley, because it's named after Mount Diablo, and somebody wanted to rename it Mount Ronald Reagan a couple of years back, and he was an idiot. And that's all at MikesDailyPodcast.com. No, it's not. The link... No, kkdv.com to listen to my show, but to listen to the podcast and to see the podcast picture, that's all at MikesDailyPodcast.com. And speaking of which, who's the podcast picture of today? Oh, it's this guy.
Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman.
I saw Bryan Ferry last night.
Yeah, I heard. How was the floor at the Fox Theater?
Beautiful. The ceiling is amazing.
Oh, I'd love to see that, Mike. Because I'm Floyd the Floorman, not the ceiling man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that must have been cool. Mike, I want to ask you a question.
What?
Do I sound a little bit different than usual?
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I sound a little like that guy who's Albert Brooks' brother.
Oh, Einstein. That guy's last name is Einstein. Yeah. Albert Brooks had to change his name because his name would have been Albert Einstein if he went with his real name. But you do sound a little like the guy, Einstein guy.
Yeah, that comedian.
What happened to his face?
I don't know.
What happened to Janet Jackson's face?
I don't know.
Yeah, Janet had this beautiful face. I don't know why she did the plastic surgery. Interesting to note, Michael Jackson, of course, did a bunch of plastic surgery. He did not do a video when he came out with his album called Bad. The first song, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, he did not do a music video for because he had gotten his major plastic surgery done just before that, and he didn't want people to see the new him with that song. He had to do it with Bad and make the big music video with, I think, John Landis, who had done Thriller. He produced that video with them in the subway and all that, and that was the first time we got to see Michael it was his debut of his new face and the new song, and people just were fine with it. There was the comments once in a while like, what the hell? But yeah, you think about someone doing that today, would it work? Making your big debut with your new song and your new face?
Mike, is that a rhetorical question?
No. Yeah. Well, your voice sounds fine.
Thanks, Mike. Because I'm Floyd the Floorman.
Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com.
Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!